Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. When are these people, these celebrities, going to get to a point where they can take personal responsibility for their own failures or their own mistakes and stop blaming everything on racism? I mean, when? Okay, and what I'm talking about is Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, I don't know why her name is called Jada Pinkett Smith. It should just be Jada Pinkett right now because her and Will should be divorced. Okay, gosh. But anyway, Jada Pinkett Smith is making the accusation that her new film, Cleopatra, is failing because of white supremacy. How often have we been hearing that, right? Every time some kind of movie that's been cast as directed by a black person or starring a black person or whatever is failing at the box office or streaming services, it's always racism, right? Let's get right into this article. Let's analyze this because this is ridiculous and it's really, really feeding a terrible perception among young people. And I'm going to tell you what that perception is after we've completed this ridiculous article. It says the infamous Jada Pinkett Smith recently stated that her flop of a documentary, well, you can see right here, this is somewhat of an opinion piece, Cleopatra is failing due to white supremacy. However, the internet is vehemently disagreeing with her as Egyptians claim she is blackwashing Egyptian culture. Furthermore, her sorrow relationship with Will Smith is also another reason why many dislike her. It could be possible. Let me take that back. I won't say that. It states why many dislike her. Many dislike her because of that sorrow relationship with Will Smith, and because more people love Will Smith than they do Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay, but that's a whole nother story. An article from the People's Voice states, in an attempt to promote Jada Pinkett's own, quote, woke agenda, she puts pressure on the show's producers to change Cleopatra's race to align with her own. Now, here's the part that kills me. And I said this before, and a whole bunch of other conservative YouTubers have said the same thing. Why in the world do these movie producers and film studios cave under the pressure of the woke Gestapo? What is up with that? The woke people are only a small class of people. So why are you submitting to what they want? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Here's what I keep thinking. I'm going to continue on. Here's what I think too, is that a lot of these producers and directors in these film studios who are pressured by the wokies, okay, submit to these guys because they don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be called this. They don't want to be called Islamophobic. They don't want to be called whatever. They don't want to be called these names, so they submit to them anyway. But here's the problem. One of the reasons why this is a major problem is because these film directors and producers don't have any backbone. True, you're going to suffer some opposition from the woke. True, you're going to suffer that. If you call racist, you call that, you're going to suffer some opposition from them. You have to be willing to stand for what it is that you absolutely believe in. You can't keep taking down from something that you believe in simply because somebody keeps pressuring you to do so. That's pushing this idea of being weak-minded to the people that watch your movies, or the people that listen to your programs. That is pushing a weak mentality. Because these films have a subtle effect on people. And I don't want to get too much into the detail of that because I'm going to get to that a little later. But when you push this weak mentality out there, well, I'm not going to stand, I'm just going to go ahead and give in to the woke mass, okay, then what you're saying in a subtle, indirect way is you don't need to stand for anything that you believe in. What is more important to you? And I'm talking to the movie directors out there, okay, the movie directors and the producers and so forth and the writers. What is more important to you? Your principles, if you have any, or the money? It seems to me the money. But here's the problem. It's not always the money. The money are the people that come. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm talking a little bit too fast. It's the money, but the problem is they got it twisted. They keep thinking, oh, if somebody says that I'm racist because I don't want to put this kind of stuff into my movies or whatever, my songs or movies or sitcoms or programs, they're going to stop watching. Not necessarily. People are not as dumb when they watch these movies. They're not as dumb as people think they are. And a lot of people, from what I'm finding out, a lot of people are waking up to this wokeism. They're waking up to it. And proof of that is the fact that they don't watch these movies. They don't go to see these movies because you're pushing this nonsense on them. So when are these directors and writers going to wake up and say, you know what, I'm standing on my principles. I don't care what I got to go through. I'm going to stand. Because eventually you're going to come out. You're going to come out on top because you're standing on the truth. But if you keep giving in to this nonsense, you're never going to have any backbone, and you're pushing that same mentality to the people that watch your movies. But anyway, it goes on to say, however, the show has a number of errors such as incorrect costumes, incorrect timelines of battles, and misplacement of Cleopatra at events she did not attend. Like I said, I didn't watch this show. I didn't watch this movie. And it's not because it's directed by Jada Pinkett Smith. It's not because it's woke. That's not just the only reason. It's simply because that's not something that would interest me anyway. So if anybody said, well, you need to watch the movie before you make a critique of the movie, I'm not making a critique of the movie. I'm making a critique of the information that is in this article, not a critique of the movie. I didn't see the movie, so I cannot critique the movie. So let me make that perfectly clear. Okay. I'm critiquing the information in this article. I'm critiquing this wokeism and this nonsense of blaming racism on the failure of your movie. That's what it is. Now, it goes on to say, there is also confusion between actions attributed to Antony and Octavian have made it virtually unwatchable. Statements that no experts or even individuals with basic knowledge of the historical context are working on the production. And so here are some tweets from people like Patricia Dixon, who is one of my favorite conservative YouTube content creators. She says, Jada Pinkett Smith says she blames, quote, white supremacists for the flop of her new Netflix documentary series, Queen Cleopatra, which has one of the worst audience ratings in U.S. television history. Now, why would that be? Why would it be? Why would it have the worst, one of the worst TV viewings in TV history? Why would it have that? Why would it have that? Why would it be that? There has to be a reason. Is it white supremacy? No. I highly, highly doubt that it's white supremacy. Everybody knows that Queen Cleopatra was not black. Okay. I actually found that out just not too long ago, actually, because back in the days, I wasn't into history. I didn't care about any of that many years ago when I was a teenager and all that. I didn't pay attention anyway. So, but just recently, as I was reading and studying, I found out that after the Greeks dominated and conquered Egypt, then after that, the procession of kings and queens and so forth became lighter in skin tone. And some of them were white because the Greeks had taken over Egypt. So this whole idea of Cleopatra being black is stupid. To spin her as black, it doesn't make any sense at all. None whatsoever. What are you trying to do? You're trying to appeal to a larger black audience? Because most black audiences members, if they understand history, know that Queen Cleopatra was not black. Just saying. Let's go on. Another person by the name of the Blossoming Magnolia says, yeah, laugh out loud. Those Egyptians are bigly white supremacists. Pinkett beclowns herself yet again. This after she erases an entire race, the Egyptians. Her excuse for her bigotry, her granny told her Cleopatra was black. Because your granny told you that, then hey, your granny was wrong. One user states that it is logical that Egyptians are white supremacists despite them not even being white. Furthermore, the user adds that this is what she gets for erasing an entire race of people just because her grandmother told her Cleopatra was black. And here's one other tweets by I Am. It says, honey, it ain't just the whites. It's the whole world not caring because Cleopatra was not black. Emphasis added. And this is from Mr. Watuzi. It's like using a white person portraying Dr. Martin Luther King. And what if something like that was to happen? What if something like that actually was to happen? Man, Black Lives Matter themselves would be out protesting. So it's something funky going on here, okay? And here it says, so the article going to say, more users state that the whole world is not caring for a documentary due to the fact that everyone knows that Cleopatra was not black. Following that, Twitter users state that the exact same reason would be done if a documentary places Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as a white man. And I just said that. There are some internet users that are fed up with the woke community blaming their failures on racism. Furthermore, another Twitter user jokes that she injured herself and blamed it on racism, which was a funny tweet. There are plenty of credible black directors and actors that are successful. This is especially due to their talents, and that's so absolutely true. But that's the end of that article right there. Yeah, and it's just silly and insane for her to even make that accusation. But here's what I wanted to say to add to this whole narrative. When you constantly blame racism or white supremacy on your failures as a film director or as a writer or as whatever in the entertainment industry or whatever, it don't even have to be in the entertainment industry. It could be anywhere. And you consistently blame it on your failures on white supremacy or some white person stopping you or holding you back. Okay, without any real evidence to prove it whatsoever, particularly as an adult, because most of the people that's doing this stupid stuff are adults. They're the ones pushing this nonsense that, oh, the reason why my movie failed or my documentary failed or my song failed or this failed or whatever was because of white supremacy. Them doggone white people keep stopping me and holding me back all the time, okay? It's usually adults that push this agenda. What you're doing in an indirect way is you influencing the minds of thousands and thousands of young people, teenagers and early 20s. You're influencing their mind to accept mediocrity. You're influencing their mind to not accept failure. First of all, everyone fails, regardless. To err is human. The saying goes, to err is human. Okay, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have failures. Whatever you do, you're going to have failures. You're going to make a mistake. The most important thing, and we know this, but it bears repeating. The most important thing is to dust yourself off, get up, and try again and learn from the mistakes. See what you need to do different that will make the situation better, that will make the movie better, that will make the song better, that will make the book better, that will make whatever endeavor that you're trying to do. What do you need to do to make it better? You certainly don't need to blame it on the white man. You certainly don't need to blame it on white supremacy. Okay, that's the stupidest thing you can blame it on. And what they are doing in an indirect way is they're pushing this perception on young people that watch this. Young people watch this kind of stuff. And when they have failures in their life, the first thing they're going to start doing, and I'm telling you, they do it because I've heard some of them say it. White man holding me back. It's white supremacists. It's white this, it's white that. No. What did you do? What part did you play that caused the failure? For example, if you break the law as a black person or any type of person, but especially with the black situation here, if you break the law, you steal and you get caught, and the police officer that arrests you happens to be white, are they arresting you because you black? No, they're arresting you because you got caught, you broke the law, you got caught, and now you're going to jail. Has nothing to do with your race. You was just a dummy and you decided to steal when you didn't need to steal. There's plenty of jobs out there to work. You didn't need to steal. You stole. Thou shalt not steal. Okay. You stole and now you got caught and now you got to go to prison. You can't blame it on white supremacy. What part did you play in a whole agenda? What part did you play in the act? Okay. The same principle. What they're doing is they're pushing mediocrity upon our young people. Jada Pinkett Smith is pushing the same rhetoric that all the rest of these black filmmakers, a lot of them, not all of them, but black crowds of the woke agenda. She's doing the same thing. You're actually pushing mediocrity upon our young people, and it could hurt them in the long run. Okay? No. You have to take responsibility for your own personal actions. And let me say this. Even if a white person or some white establishment or institution did prevent you from being all you could be, what if, even if there was somebody that was racist and was keeping you from being promoted or keeping you from being the best or whatever, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to cry like a little girl? The white man keep pushing me down. Or are you going to be a man or a woman with strength and integrity and get your crybaby butt up and keep pushing? You may argue, somebody that's a snowflake may argue, oh, Mr. Bowling, you just being harsh. Really? Really? What about the people doing the black people doing down south during the pre-civil rights era? During a time where there was Jim Crow laws, by the way, that was created by the Democrats. Every one of them politicians were Democrats that created them Jim Crow laws. Okay? What did they do? Did they... the white man, he killed me, wanting to commit suicide and all this other nonsense? No. They kept pressing. They kept persevering. Even though they were being discriminated against by real white supremacists, they did not let these white supremacists stop them from being successful. And that's why you had a Black Wall Street. That's why you had black musicians. That's why you had black business entrepreneurs. That's why you had black artists, black writers, because they did not allow true discrimination. When it was truly discrimination, they did not allow that to stop them. They persevered. They didn't cry like babies. We got crybabies today in the film industry, and that crybaby mentality is going to seep over and have already seeped over into the minds of our young people. Now you're going to have a bunch of young people crying that every time they fail at something, oh, the white man doing it. No, you got to look at the situation, analyze the situation, and ask yourself, what could I have done better, or what can I do better to make the situation better? And even if there is racism, in some of this video up it is, even if there is racism, what are you going to do about it? You're going to go out here and ask George Soros to finance your a movement that you're trying to create so you can go out with signs protesting against the corporation? Get your crying, sniffling self up. Be a man, be a woman, do what you need to do and better the situation. Because as black people today, we are without excuse. We have more opportunities and more benefits than any black group before us. And that's not my opinion, that's a fact. To sum it up this way, sum this video up this way. The other reason why this crap about black this and white supremacy this is going on, I'm going to keep saying it, is because it's all about election time. You want to know who they're gearing this towards? You want to know who they're gearing it towards? Black people. Because you don't hear them, for the most part, you don't hear these woke people hooping and hollering and talking about white supremacy towards other races necessarily. Every now and then they might mention something, but for the most part, it's usually white supremacy towards black people. You want to know why? Because to keep black folks voting for the Democrats, keep you on the plantation. It's mind control. Wake the heck up. Be a man, be a woman, dust yourself off and go on. That's what you need to do. And that's my honest opinion on this whole stupid nonsense by Jada Pinkett. Yeah, I said Jada Pinkett. Okay. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.